The Vision Heroes are a small sub-archetype of hero monsters which have a gimmick where they can set themselves as continuous trap cards from the graveyard. And in this video, we'll be going over some of the best Vision Hero cards that are available. And at number 10, we have Vision Hero Poisoner. This card has the effect that if it exists in the graveyard while you take battle damage or effect damage, you can then place this card from your graveyard in your spell and trap card zone and treat it as if it's a continuous trap card. Also, during the main phase, if this card is currently treated as a continuous trap card, you can use the effect where you contribute one hero monster you control in order to special summon this card from your spell and trap card zone. Now, a lot of the Vision Heroes have these first two effects. What separates most of them is their third effect, and what Poisoner's third effect is if this card is special summoned from the spell and trap card zone, you can permanently have the attack of one face-up monster on the field. And all three of its effects have a hard once per turn. So what's great about having a whole bunch of Vision Heroes in your graveyard is that if you take any battle damage at all, you can trigger every single Vision Hero monster in your graveyard at the same time, and basically set 4 Vision Hero monsters in your back row with a single instance of damage. And because of the massive swarm potential this causes, a lot of the Vision Heroes have pretty mediocre effects if they are brought out from the spell and trap card zone. Poisoner simply halves the attack of a monster on the field, which is nice, especially since it doesn't target, but it's not the best thing in the world either. It can be used to cut the attack of a boss monster your opponent controls in half so you can attack over it easier, and it can be used to help with Destiny Hero Dystopia in order to activate its Spell Speed 2 Destruction effect. Other than that, there's a lot of better Vision Heroes you can use, where Poisoner only barely makes the top 10. And at number 9, we have Vision Hero Minimum Ray. This card's first two effects are the exact same as Poisoner, where it can set itself from the graveyard and tribute a hero monster to special summon itself. But this card's special summon effect is that you can destroy one level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls. Now, a destruction effect on summon is pretty good. The restrictive targets for it, however, are not as good. If it destroyed any monster, this would be one of the best Vision Heroes. But since it's specifically a level 4 or lower monster, it barely makes the top 10, which isn't saying much seeing how small the archetype is. However, it's not useless. You have to remember that Vision Heroes are set as continuous trap cards, which means their second effect to special summon themselves from the spell and trap card zone is Spell Speed 2. So you can actually bring this card out during your opponent's main phase in response to them summoning a starter card in order to destroy it before they can go into combos. So Vision Hero Minimum Ray actually has a form of disruption thanks to the Spell Speed 2 nature of its effect. So if the effect was purely Spell Speed 1 and only usable on your turn, it would be kind of useless. But the fact that it's usable during your opponent's main phase actually gives it a pretty good niche. And at number 8, we have Vision Fusion. This is a fusion spell card for the Vision Heroes, where it never actually specifically mentions Vision Heroes in its text, but it's obviously meant for the Vision Hero monsters, as it has the effect where it can be used to fusion summon any one Fusion Hero monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as materials, in addition to being able to use 2 monsters in your spell and trap card zone that are currently being treated as continuous trap cards. Although if you use those materials, you banish them instead of sending them to the graveyard. And since Vision Heroes are able to set themselves in the spell and trap card zone pretty easily, Vision Fusion is kind of similar to a Miracle Fusion in its usefulness, although not as useful as Miracle Fusion because you still need to get those cards on the field. It's definitely a neat option, but not strong enough, considering it's just a slightly worse version of the Miracle Fusion, and Miracle Fusion is already only seen play because it can be searched out with Sunrise. And at number 7, we have Vision Hero Witch Raider. This is a level 8 Vision Hero monster, which has the effect where you can tribute summon this card using trap cards you control as well as monsters. And when this card is normal summoned, you get to destroy all of your opponent's spell and trap cards. So a full Harpy's Feather Duster-like effect. However, you can only use that effect if you haven't special summoned any other monsters this turn except for hero monsters, which it then locks you into for the rest of the turn after it's summoned as well. So even though you're able to pretty easily offset its tribute summon costs by just playing Vision Heroes like normal, and using 2 Vision Heroes in your spell and trap card zone as tribute fodder, it still does require your normal summon, and has a pretty gnarly restriction on summoning monsters for the rest of the turn. So it's not super useful in the TCG. However, in Duel Links, this card was released rather early in that game's cycle and was actually used to great effect, even before they added the other Vision Heroes to the game, which would allow you to bring itself out without losing so much advantage. Because being able to destroy all of your opponent's spell and trap cards has always been kind of useful, just not really at the cost of locking you out of your special summons for the rest of the turn, except for the hero monsters of course, which wasn't really a big deal in Duel Links before they had good extra deck monsters. And at number 6, we have Vision Release. This is a spell card which allows you to special summon a Vision Hero monster card from your spell and trap card zone. Then it has a graveyard effect where you can banish this card from your graveyard in order to add a Vision Hero monster from your graveyard back to your hand. So Vision Release seems to work out pretty well what the Vision Heroes are trying to do. It's essentially an archetype-specific monster reborn that allows you to go +1 afterwards. If Vision Heroes were ever played as a pure deck, you can bet they would play multiple copies of Vision Hero Release alongside it, as none of its effects are once per turn. You just can't use both of them on the same turn that it's sent to the graveyard. The thing is though, Vision Heroes don't really see competitive play as a pure deck, and more as an engine with other hero cards. Modern hero decks play a mixture of all heroes, which means they only play the absolute best of the bunch. So the only Vision Heroes that actually see play are the cards in the top 5 spots, and they don't really need a Vision Hero Release to do their thing. And at number 5, we have Vision Hero Adoration. This is a Vision Hero fusion monster, which is unique in the fact that it's the only hero fusion monster in the game, which just requires any 2 hero monsters as its materials. Which means no specific amount of Vision Heroes, Elemental Heroes, Destiny Heroes, just a mix of any of them, which is why it kind of sees play. The effect of the card is kind of mediocre. Once per turn, it allows you to cause one of your opponent's monsters to lose stats equal to the stats of one of your other hero monsters. It's also a dark attribute, has 2800 attack, which means it sees a lot of competitive play in hero decks, just being a middleman in order to get a fusion monster on the field, which isn't locked out thanks to Fusion Destiny, is incredibly useful. Because Fusion Destiny is one of the best fusion hero cards, as it allows you to special summon a Destiny hero fusion monster by using materials from your deck, but at the cost of locking you out of only being able to summon dark hero monsters for the rest of the turn. It also came out before Elemental Hero YuGiOh, so it was the dark hero monster of choice before the Dark Omni hero was even released. Even after it was released, it still saw play, and still sees play in modern hero decks, but only because it's dark and almost completely generic with its hero materials. Its activatable effect is pretty mediocre, but it's always useful anyway nonetheless. I'm sure hero players wish Adoration had a better effect because of just how useful its completely generic materials are. And at number 4, we have Vision Hero Trinity. This is the other Vision Hero fusion monster, which just requires any 3 hero monsters as its fusion materials. So again, completely generic with its hero requirements, just like Adoration. However, since it requires 3 monsters, it is a little bit harder to bring out. But just like Adoration, it still sees play specifically because it's a hero monster, that's dark attribute, that also has generic materials, which is incredibly useful with how modern heroes use the mixes of all the heroes. Also, Vision Hero Trinity has a pretty good effect too, where during the turn this card is fusion summoned, its attack becomes double its original attack, so 5000, and it can make 3 attacks during the battle phase but cannot attack directly. So if you have a copy of Elemental Hero Honest Neos in your hand, you can boost this card's attack up to 7500, which means you can easily OTK your opponent with its 3 attacks, assuming they have at least 2 monsters on their side of the field with less than 3500 attack. So Vision Hero Trinity is kind of a win condition in of itself, and is useful even if you're not using it as a win condition, which is why it continues to see lots of play in the TCG. In Duel Links, the card also saw a whole bunch of play when it was first released, for not exactly the same reasons as it's used in the TCG, but because it turns out 5000 attack monster, which can attack 3 times, is useful in pretty much all versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! And at number 3, we have Vision Hero Increase. This card has the normal Vision Hero effects, where it can set itself to the spell and trap card zone as a continuous trap card if you take damage. It can special summon itself during the main phase by attributing a hero monster, and then its third different effect is that if this card is special summoned from the spell and trap card zone, you can then special summon a level 4 or lower Vision Hero monster from your deck, which is easily the best effect out of all the Vision Hero monsters who have effects after special summoning themselves from the spell and trap card zone. It's kind of insane how much better this card's effect is, where the other ones are so situational, like granting 800 attack, having the attack of a monster, or being able to destroy a very specific type of monster. You then have Increase, which is just one of the best effects in the game, which is absolutely useful because of the number 1 spot on this list. And the great thing about Increase is that after it uses effect to special summon a monster from the deck, it can just be used as a material in the graveyard to do it again, assuming you're able to take damage again. So Vision Hero Increase can just keep using its effect again on different turns, and is absolutely a must-have card in all hero decks. And at number 2, we have Vision Hero Feris. This is a level 5 Vision Hero monster, which has a completely unique effect from all the other Vision Heroes, where you can discard 1 other hero monster from your hand in order to special summon this card from your hand. Then, if this card is summoned, you can place any one Vision Hero monster from your deck into your spell and trap card zone as a continuous trap card, except another copy of Vision Hero Feris. But at the cost where you can't special summon other monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except hero monsters. So the best target to set for the deck is absolutely Vision Hero Increase, which turns Vision Hero Feris into an excellent combo starter. It allows you to get a hero monster in the grave, as there's like a million different hero cards with excellent graveyard effects, including nearly every single Vision Hero having a graveyard effect. It grants you a monster on the field without using up your normal summon, and then of course it allows you to get Increase into the spell and trap card zone, so that it can bring itself out in order to bring out the number 1 spot. Vision Hero Feris is just an excellent combo starter to hero plays, which can do everything without using up your normal summon, which is very important. The biggest downside to this card is definitely the restriction on your extra deck, which is entirely warranted considering how good the card effect actually is. And Vision Hero Feris is one of the reasons hero monsters are so dead set on only playing cards with hero in their name in their extra deck. And part of the reasons why cards like Vision Hero Adoration and Vision Hero Trinity are needed in order to continue their plays. Because there's so many really good hero cards that just lock you out of summoning other non-hero monsters, like Vision Hero Feris and of course Fusion Destiny, where their effects are so good that hero decks are kind of forced into only using hero extra deck monsters. And at number 1, we have Vision Hero Vyon. This was the first ever main deck Vision Hero monster release, which is why it has a completely unique effect from all the others. This card has the effect where when it's summoned, you can send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. And then it has an on-field effect where once per turn you can banish any hero monster from your graveyard in order to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. And with how many good hero monster graveyard effects there are, including effects activated when they're sent to the graveyard like Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, Vision Hero Vyon is pretty much an auto-include in any hero deck. Especially since it can be special summoned from the deck with Vision Hero Increase, which can be placed on the field with Vision Hero Feris without using up your normal summon. Also, Vision Hero Vyon can send Destiny Hero Malicious to the graveyard, which can then special summon itself from the graveyard immediately. Then you can use Vyon in order to add a polymerization to your hand. So getting Vision Hero Vyon on the field is equivalent to going +2 in card advantage, assuming you use Destiny Hero Malicious, which is why Vision Hero Vyon was played so heavily in Dark Warrior combos, before those got nerfed into the ground with a whole bunch of hits on the ban list. And because Vision Hero Vyon is useful without the ability to add polymerization to your hand, the fact that it can also do that is basically the only reason the normal polymerization sees play in hero decks, which again adds generic fusion monsters seen play like Vision Hero Trinity and Vision Hero Adoration, as polymerization can be used to get more hero monsters in the graveyard so that you can use more of the graveyard effects. Or just get big bodies in the field to continue other plays. Polymerization isn't a very good fusion spell card, but if you can get it for basically free while doing your other combos to great advantage, then there's really no reason not to play it. And seeing as Vision Hero Vyon is useful without other Vision Heroes, and has definitely seen the most amount of competitive play since it's been used in non-hero decks, it easily takes number 1 spot on this list. The fact that it's easier to use with Feris and Increase just makes it even better in actual hero decks, especially since it's a dark hero so it doesn't conflict with Fusion Destiny at all either. Alright, and that's the list. Going over a top 10 list of small archetypes like this is basically like reviewing an entire archetype to an extent. So, if you have any other ideas for future videos just like this one, I'd love to hear about them down in the comments. Also remember to not subscribe if you have already.